It's December 14th, 2000, and Barcelona have failed to win anything in the 1999-2000 season that has just passed, finishing second in La Liga, losing in the semifinals of the Copa del Rey and the UEFA Champions League, as well as runner-ups of the Supercopa of España. On top of all of that, Barcelona would have their most controversial transfer window in a time before players like Neymar and Messi would leave to PSG. After months of rumors, Madrid managed to take Figo from Barcelona, becoming the most hated transfer of all time. Barcelona at this time needed a change in order to alter the trajectory. With the new manager after the departure of Louis van Gaal, Barca would begin planting the necessary seeds, creating a core of young La Masia students. There would be one talent far better than the rest though, which is why on this mid-December day, Barcelona would get the signature of the best player of all time. A 13-year-old Lionel Messi would be signed up by Barcelona on a napkin. Football Club Barcelona would once again be in correlation with the small Argentinian attacker. While Diego Maradona's time in Barcelona isn't seen as the best time for the footballer, being in the conversation of one of the best, if not the best of all time, is in your benefit. Of course, these comparisons were bound to happen. People would see Maradona through Messi instead of being his own player. These comparisons would carry on his entire career. But 22 years after Barcelona would sign the next great player, Messi would crush all the comparisons. After all the talk of Messi not being able to bring the World Cup to Argentina like Diego did, Messi would conquer his final peak. In Messi's long career, he has most definitely established himself as a completely different player to Maradona in their personalities, their approach to the game, and even accolades. Despite all that, the comparisons would never stop. Now with Messi being undoubtedly the best player of all time, there has been, and there will be, comparisons to Messi. Dating back to his time to Barcelona till now, countless players have been compared to Messi. The most recent player to get this comparison is definitely someone who has earned the praise. Yamal in his first season at 16 years old has registered 6 goals and 8 assists, going in and out of rotation, eventually becoming a starter for club and country. Beyond the goals and assists, at Barcelona, Yamal has the potential to be the biggest threat to opposition sides since Messi left. His direct play with change of speed leaves defenders second guessing, his dribble creates for himself and his teammates, and at this age, Messi wasn't even performing this well. As of right now, Yamal is definitely an exception to the norm. There's been many players who have been compared to Messi and haven't even come close to what Yamal has done this season alone. Juanito would be starting his career at Club Serio Porteño, was an Argentine starting his promising career at the right wing position, similar to Messi would start at the right wing. With all the similarities, the pundits and football fans around the world will target Juan and label him the next Messi. But just as fast as the comparisons would come, Juan would change clubs 20 times, now rejoining his first club at the beginning of 2024. Juan would play some games in Europe with some Serie A clubs, Bournemouth, and even Porto. Unlike Juan, many players from other countries are labeled their own country's version of Messi. Probably the best player in this video is an example of this. Martin Odegaard at 17 years old would get transferred to Real Madrid, and despite the arch rivals of Football Club Barcelona, Odegaard would be labeled as the Norwegian Messi, playing his way up ranks within the club and even playing the following 2016-2017 season in some games, but would get loaned out in the winter to get more experience and game time. After spells in several other clubs, Martin would settle in the red side of London, Arsenal, eventually signing with them permanently. Despite them not winning the league last year and this year, Odegaard would be a key part of that team, even becoming Arsenal's player of the season. From Norwegian, we go now to Korea, where South Korean Lee Sung-woo would be labeled as the Korean Messi. Coming up from La Masia like Messi, Lee would not get to the level of Messi despite landing a move to the Serie A. Lee would not live up to the hype. La Masia in these years where Messi was playing in Barcelona would be the hub of so-called Messi regions. Players like Lee, Munir, Alan Halilovic, Jean Donggu, Giovanni Dos Santos, and Gerard Deulofeu. All of them would be promising, but one way or another, they would end up the same. This would be true for the Japanese Messi as well, getting signed by Arsenal instead in 2011. Ryo Miyachi would impress within Japan's first division. However, in Arsenal, he would not impress, unfortunately never getting close to those early career predictions of him. But being compared to Messi is one thing, being compared to Ronaldo and Messi, both in their prime, was something very impressive for a player to do so. And Gelson Martins at the start of his career with Sporting was getting noticed by the footballing world, earning a move to Atletico Madrid but only serving 8 games with them, eventually moving to Monaco where he would get more engaged in football once again, but nowhere near the Messi and Ronaldo shouts from before. Moving to Olympiacos in 2024 and even winning the Conference League this year with them. From Atletico Madrid to Athletic Bilbao, Iker Muniain was also labeled the Spanish Messi by many, but Muniain would be loyal to Bilbao, having a very successful career in La Liga and being a big part of Bilbao's success in top flight football. The most famous, if not the most infamous, globally called Messi region would be someone coming through the ranks of Barcelona, La Masia once again. This time, however, it would be early on in Messi's career. At only 20 years old, Messi was getting a player labeled as his successor. Bojan would break Messi's record of the youngest debutants for FC Barcelona. Bojan's time in Barcelona would be short-lived, but it was a winning period with the historic Barcelona side, winning 2 Champions Leagues, several La Ligas and Copa del Reyes, and this wasn't because of his excellence though. It would be because of one man only. Just like the others in this video, one man that cannot be replaced or outdone, the greatest of all time.